Alyssa, and we're stitching at the cabin. Today is, I'm gonna have to cheat. Today is Wednesday, the 30th of September. Alyssa's on her honeymoon, so I have to pretend to be Alyssa. Hi, I'm blonde. Yeah, this is really awkward talking to myself. I don't know how y'all do it, so forgive me. My son is going to help me edit it, so hopefully it's all gonna go smoothly. Hopefully I'm speaking loud enough too, because Alyssa's the loud one, and she's always reminding me, talk louder, and I'm not. So the plan is I will show you my whips and things, and then we will move on to the non-existent haul, and then I'm probably not gonna spin. And then we have the wedding update, and my husband will be here for the husband tag. He is not home yet, but he will be doing that. I'm going to say a lot because Alyssa's not here to interject in those moments that stop me from saying Then we will discuss the fibroids, and my dad. Okay, so keto. Keto is still coming along swimmingly. Here is keto. I obviously am working over here. It's been a smidge emotional. Maybe emotional is not the right word, but it's background and then dark hair and then the light hair. So it's a lot of explosion, a lot of threads, a lot of putting things in and taking things out, a lot of like ninja stitch stuff. And I never leave the ninja stitches for last. I'm pretty strict about poking on this one because it's 25 count 2 over 1. So it gets tight if you skip something and go back. So I'm pretty good about not skipping stuff. I mean, obviously I'm not super strict because there's stuff, but like I don't want to have to go back up into it. I don't mind going over or whatever. You get the picture. So it's been a lot of confetti, I guess you'd say. And I'm sad because I'm running out of head. Like, it's not going to be that long before there's no hair left and I have to go back to background. Although I have to say, I actually didn't mind the background that I did up here. I sort of enjoyed it, maybe because it was different. It's this I don't like, this dark hair. It's a combo of 902 and 3371. It's pretty much all it is. And I just don't think I like doing 2 colors and switching back and forth. I think I like more of the confetti. I mean, not crazy confetti, don't get me wrong, but more of the, oh, look, this is different, and then you see something happening, you know what I'm saying? So, I did take pictures of almost everything before I started filming, so I don't forget, so that way you have before and afters, but, yeah, I do need to take a picture of one still, so if I forget, oops. Okay, let's do things out of order. Usually I go to the Chatelaine, but it's behind my temperature tree, so let's go temperature tree. It's hot. I did not do today's leaf, but I can tell you that I did look at the temperature and it is hot. It's going to be the same orange that there's like 1,001 of. And I do still need to finish additional branches. Running out of time, because this is October tomorrow. And I believe this is the October branch, if I'm not mistaken. So, yeah, it's hot. It's still hot. It cooled down that teeny tiny bit, and I thought, ooh, fall. No. Despite this looking like a pumpkin, it's not fall. It's hot. Today, here, I don't know the exact temperature, but it was supposed to be over 100, which was like 37 Celsius. Obviously not at the cabin. This has been in the 70s, and I don't know what that is. Yeah, I don't know what that is in Celsius. But, Alexa, what's 78 degrees Fahrenheit to Celsius?
78 degrees Fahrenheit is about 25.56 degrees Celsius.
25 degrees Celsius.
No, I can help if you ever misplace your phone.
Thanks.
Try asking me to call your phone.
No, thank you. I mean, I appreciate that, but no thank you. And I'm sorry to anybody whose dinosaur pet I just set off. So, yeah, that's, it's hot. It's definitely going to be the slightly awkwardly dangly tree because it's not symmetrical, which I actually think is probably going to end up looking great. I really liked the fall looking leaves on the example one. I don't know why I can't think of what that's called, the model stitch. So I think it's going to look good. It's less clown-like than this side. So anyway, that is the temperature tree. And I am still thinking about doing the next temperature one. Okay, my Chatelaine. I always say I wish I got more done, and I'm still saying that. But with Alyssa being on her honeymoon, spoiler, she got married. With her being on the honeymoon, since we work together, she's not there to help me as much. I'm having to do her work and mine, which I've done for a whole lot of years. Before she ever worked for me, I worked alone for a long time. But the bigger the company gets, the more difficult it is for me to do everything. So I'm struggling to get any stitchy time, and I don't know what happened to evening stitching time. I don't get to stitch in the evenings at all. It's been months, pretty much ever since it got hot. I have not been able to stitch in the evenings, and I am so hoping that when it cools down, my husband's going to want to spend time in the garage doing projects and stuff, and then maybe I can go out there and do stuff, stitchy stuff, not his stuff, stitchy stuff. But anyway, so all that to say, I never get as much done as I want, but I think I did a pretty good job, all things considered. So I've been working mostly over here in this one. I think I finished this one, and I think I had the last time you saw it. So I've been doing this one, and I may have finished the columns. I'm not really sure. I still need to do, obviously, all the specialty stitches, and there's still some actual cross stitches that need to be done. But I'm making progress. I did a lot more than I thought I would be able to. Yes, there is a mistake, and yes, I know what the mistake is, and yes, I'll fix it. You don't need to tell me. I see it. I know what it is. I just didn't have a chance to fix it today. I've known for 2 weeks maybe that there was an issue. I will fix it. If you don't see it, it's in here. It's something is off. This is 2 over 2. It's off one hole. There's one color that's off one hole, but I'll fix it. It's fine. It's fine. I don't know what's going on in the other room, but there's rumbling. I love this. You know, people say all the time, I see it on Facebook, I've gotten comments myself, people say, I could never stitch a chatelaine. It's just way too complicated, it's intimidating, I can't do it. I've seen people say the same thing about HAEDs. People, you can do it. It's X's and some really well-documented specialty stitches. You can do it. Do not let it intimidate you. If you want to stitch a chatelaine, if you have always wanted to stitch one, if you can afford it, pick one up and do it. You will not regret it. It's one step at a time. You start in the middle and you work your way out. It is not crazy like people say. Actually, I don't even think anyone says it's crazy. I think people just think it is because they look so complicated and intricate and all that. Do it on 28 count so your beads fit. I mean, you might be able to do it on 32, but don't do any other counts. And don't do it on Ada. I know it's possible, but there's so many specialty stitches where you need each individual little hole. Ada would just be an absolute nightmare. Don't do it. It's so much fun. It honestly is one of my favorite things to work on. So do it. Just do it. If you can afford it, do it. You won't regret it. I can almost promise you won't. And if you start to work on it and you freak out and you need help, contact me. If you totally hate it, send it to me. Okay, I'll pay you for it if it's one I want, but still. Okay, this one I have not taken a picture of, so I'm going to say over and over again, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture. Is this fun? Take a picture, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture, take a picture. I need to take a picture. This is Mirabilia. It's what I spun. Spun sounds like the wrong word. I always want to say spunded. It's what I spunded. Okay, so before I show this to you, although I don't know what you can see, I didn't set this up. I don't know. Let me show you what it looks like. That's what it's supposed to look like. That's what it's going to look like, I hope. It is out of print, so you may have, well, I know you'll have trouble finding it if you want it. You probably can find it. I just don't know how much you'll pay. I spun it for the weekend, but y'all know Alyssa got married over the weekend. Yeah. I mean, if you're new, this is your first time, welcome. I'll try to catch you up if there's something that I think you should know. Alyssa, my daughter, who's usually here, she got married on Sunday. So Saturday I had to spend the entire day cleaning because her parents had never seen her house and it had to be like museum quality. So I only stitched 2 hours in the morning. I got up early, I stitched 2 hours, and then I worked on the house from 9 a.m. until almost 9 p.m. And I, not kidding, the house was not dirty. It was just a lot of cleaning, stupid stuff. Sunday, I got up and I was hoping I was going to be able to stitch 2 more hours, but Alyssa moved to the hair and makeup appointments, which were here at the house a little bit earlier, so she actually ended up showing up at like 8:30 in the morning, something like that. So I didn't get much stitching time. I think all told in the weekend, I got 3 hours of stitching time. 3. That is sad. But I want to point out that I have stitched every single day for all of 2020. Every day. I make sure I put in at least 1 stitch every single day. And I could not let her wedding stop me. So I knew, get up early, at least put in 1 stitch, and go. So I did that. Yay, me. So I worked on the vase plant area. There she is. She's on the large side. So I did a little bit down here to finish the vase, the urn, the vase, the plant holder. I don't know what you call it. I did the green down here and then a bunch of green over here and started a little bit up there. And I was really enjoying it and I really wanted to do more. But alas, she needed to get married and I kind of wanted to see it. So there's the whole thing. I don't know if you can see all that. Whoosh, whoosh. So it's this border still has to go all the way around. I have to do that. I need to finish this massive chunk of plant. I hope you can see. I need to do the beading. And then down at the bottom, one of these sides is not... Both the sides, I take that back. Neither flower side is fully finished. I need to do more back stitching. There's some beads. There's a lot more beads. There's stuff. So I anticipate being able to finish this. I was going to say somewhat soon, but that implies like 2 weeks, and I don't mean that. In my timeline, where Keto is a 20-year project and the Chatelaine is a 2 to 3 year project, I feel like I could finish this within a year. I would like to have finished it this year. And that's why I think I'm not going to spin. Because it only got 3 hours, I think I'm not going to spin for this weekend. And I'm just going to go ahead and work on it again. I think that seems fair. I thought about spinning just to see. And then if it was like the castle, I would just do this instead. But then I would feel guilty that like it was the castle's turn and it didn't get to go. So I think it's just safer if I don't spin. Plus editing. Even Alyssa said, you probably don't want to spin without like turning it and showing it. Which I could do. But I think I'll wait till next week to spin. So I'm hoping to get a lot done on this weekend. We are going to the cabin. It is still standing. I'll give you an update on that. I don't know how much time I'll get. Hopefully a lot. I don't know why I wouldn't, but you know how things go. But did I take a picture of that? I took a picture of that. I never know what we're going to do on the weekends, and especially with the fire still being there and it's still pretty warm. I don't anticipate that we're going to be doing a lot of project-y stuff, but then, you know, I don't know. So that is it for stitchy stuff. I don't have haul. I did finally buy something, though. I broke down and I bought something from 123 Stitch because they finally restocked a bunch of stuff, and I was waiting for the beads to come back into stock for that new Mirabilia, the one I showed you, that Princess... Eliana, I don't know what her name is. That one that has all the new colors in it, and she's like running. That one. I say I don't have fabric. I do have fabric. I'm doing it on the purple, but I didn't have all the beads. Some of them were out of stock when I bought it, so those came in stock, and there was some floss I needed that came back into stock, and then a couple things were on sale, and Janet Jabber, she enabled me on one of her projects I saw. If you haven't watched, she did the Under the Bin box part 1, and so it's like all sorts of finishes and beautiful stuff, and one of them, it got me, and I bought it. So you'll see all that next week because 123 Stitch said, I bought it yesterday and it's shipping tomorrow. Yeah, I got the notification today. It's shipping tomorrow. So you'll see that next week. I was thinking I should get all the haul done while nobody's watching. Mom, you should buy everything you want. See? Alyssa says I should buy all the things. So yeah, no haul, no spinning. Okay, so that's it for the Stitchy stuff. So those of you that are just here for Stitchy, I'm hoping to have more projects to show you at some point. I do want to start Pandemic. I'm still waiting for fabric from Picture This Plus. It's been months, and I don't know if any of it's going to work. I am using that array of purple from Fiberlicious that I got a few episodes back. But I would really like to start Pandemic in the year of the pandemic, and let's just hope it doesn't continue. I hope the stitching continues. I hope the pandemic does not continue in 2021. So I do want to start that. I kind of am getting start-itis again. I feel like I just want to start everything. I like having a lot of options when I spin, but then on the flip side, I don't like not making a lot of progress. I feel like it's not that interesting for you. I find it interesting, but I don't know that you want to watch small chunks of, well, you get small chunks of progress anyway, but for those of you that want to see the finishes, it's yeah. I don't know. And I was thinking today about my Chatelaine. When I'm done with the Chatelaine, which I suspect will be next year, I have to decide, do I want to work on something at my desk like Mirabilia, something closer to a finish and focus on it? Or do I want to start one of the other Chatelaines that I have? And if I do want to start another Chatelaine, which one? So I think when that time comes, we're going to have some discussing to do. I'm going to have some questions. Taco's still back there in case you were wondering. He's sleeping. Okay, other. Still can't do the husband tag because the husband's not home yet. So let's do fire update. The cabin is still standing. Last time I filmed, I think I told you that we were in evacuation warning and that it had moved, and we did the whole kind of diagonal skishing wind problem-y thing. It hasn't really changed. It's still in the same footprint mostly. The winds had died down, and we knew it was going to be 4 or 5 days before, at the rate it was going, it was going to be 4 or 5 days before it got to the cabin. So I thought, don't freak out about this. Just don't even think about it. Check once in the morning, check once at night to see if you could get any updates. Otherwise, don't think about it. Concentrate on the wedding. Concentrate on everything else going on in life. Just don't worry about the fire. So I didn't worry about it. It has not really moved. I think I said that. We're still under an evacuation warning. The town that's 4 miles from us, they were lifted this morning. They're not under any kind of an evacuation warning or nothing. But they're 4 miles this way, and there's us, and then the fire, I think, is about 4 miles that way. So we're like right smack in the middle, and they have not lifted anything for us. The roads are still closed. It's still a warning. We don't know what's going to happen. But the fire mostly seems to have died down and just kind of stays doing whatever things fire does during the day. The southwest portion, Mount Wilson, is still very active from the way it looks. We do get an email from the Forest Service every morning, and they give us an update. So I wrote down a few key things from the one this morning to share with you. As of this morning's update, it had burned 114,438 acres with 62% containment. That's a lot of acres. In fact, it burned from the city area of the forest, where the city meets the forest. It burned from that all the way across the entire length of the forest into the desert. Like, it crossed the entire thing. Crazy. They lost 83 homes. They were completely destroyed. 28 were damaged. Other buildings besides homes, 19 were damaged and 79 were destroyed. That is a lot of destruction, and my thoughts go out to all of those people that lost property. I am so sorry. That sucks. I'm hoping there's no more loss. I don't know what's going to happen. The winds were supposed to pick up. I think they did a little, but it wasn't the Santa Anas they predicted. I don't know if other places have Santa Anas. I should probably look that up. But I know we have them in California. We also have a city called Santa Ana. So I don't know if there's a relationship there. But Santa Ana's are when it gets really hot and then the wind blows really hard for days, like a week. I don't know if it has to do with the direction of the wind. I don't know if it's just because it's a hot wind. I don't know what it is, but they've predicted them twice during this fire, and the first time they didn't really happen. The second time was this last week, and I decided not to really check because I don't want to freak myself out. I don't think they were full Santa Anas because we didn't have them here. We had wind, but not wind, you know? So we'll go back to the cabin. We're going to take back the stuff that we evacuated, and hi dog, and we will hope for the best. I'm not overly concerned, but I'm not completely at peace either. So fingers crossed it all goes well and we don't have any more issues this year. Knocking on wood. Fibroids. I was shocked, to be honest, about how many women have had issues. And I appreciate every single one that shared with me, no matter how you contacted me. And some people hadn't had any issues, but still were very supportive, and I appreciate that as well. I obviously will not name anyone that had issues and shared with me, but let me just say I have learned a lot. And after a very pleasant phone call with one of you yesterday, you know who you are, thank you, I decided to go ahead and schedule a second opinion. So I called. The soonest I could get with a female doctor was October 29th, and it's a phone consultation appointment, whatever. I could have gotten an in-person consultation in November had I wanted to wait, and the main reason I didn't is because I can advocate for somebody else. Like if Alyssa's having an issue, you better believe Mama Bear is going to go in there and going to lay the smack down. Like I can stand up for her. I can stand up for my husband. When he had a neck issue, I was there like in your face in a nice way. But when it comes to doing it for myself, I'm like, maybe I'm stupid. Maybe I don't know what I'm doing. Maybe they're right. Maybe, you have all these voices in your head telling you, just don't worry about it. You got this. You'll be okay. You don't need to do anything. And so on the phone call yesterday, the woman I was speaking with was telling me, and she told me her whole story, but then she told me that she thought what I should do is to make an appointment, and since with COVID, Alyssa can't go with me, I should take Alyssa virtually with me, like FaceTime or Zoom or at least speakerphone, something, so that Alyssa could kind of advocate. So if it went the same way, if you were not here last week, didn't watch, I discovered I had fibroids. I was told to go to the gynecologist. I made an appointment. I couldn't get a female gynecologist unless I waited, so I went with the male that was available. When I went in, he made me feel so dumb and so like, why are you even here? It's the first time I've ever left an appointment and went home and cried because I felt so defeated and stupid, and why did I even mention this? So I mean, his suggestion was basically do nothing, or I could get an IUD, or I could get a hysterectomy, and he said I was a good candidate for ablation. I can't take birth control, and I don't know why he didn't offer embolization, because I know that's one people do, but I didn't want it, so that didn't bother me. But it was a very bad appointment. He seemed like he didn't want to be there. I was wasting his time. He had no sympathy. I'm talking about my iron levels and how exhausted I am, and the whole like bleeding issue. Sorry, TMI for those of you that are sensitive. And he just didn't care. It's like, suck it up, take iron, you'll be fine. And not his words, but that's kind of what he said. So I didn't want to go through that again. And so I was really hesitant to make the appointment, but I went ahead and did it. And Alyssa's like, yeah, absolutely, I got your back, let's do this. So being on the phone, I could just put it on speakerphone and she can speak up if it's necessary. But I'm hoping with it being a woman who I tried to Google, seemed to have good ratings. The one I really wanted that had outstanding ratings, she didn't have any openings ever. This was my second choice, and we'll see how it goes. I don't know. But I assume they're still in there. I don't think they fell out. So we'll see what happens. But first of all, I wanted to say, well, okay, there's no first of all. I just rambled a whole lot. But I want to say thank you to everybody. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. You made a huge difference in my life. All the support, all the love, all the stories. I'm so sorry for those of you that have gone through stuff. So sorry that you had to go through it. But it sounds like just about everybody is in a good spot now. And I want to be in a good spot with you. So I'm hoping for the best with this. I don't know what course of treatment I want, so it's hard for me to say I'm going to go in there and demand this, because I don't like any of the options. None of them. So I don't know what I'm going to do. My dad. For those of you that were not around at the time, my sister called me a month ago and told me my dad was in hospice. And then I told you guys I didn't really think, from the way it sounded, that it turned out he needed to be in hospice. He just needed at-home care. I don't have a really good update for you because I can't talk directly to my dad. I'm not going to go into what happened, but my mom can vouch for me. She watches this. Feel free to vouch for me, Mom, down below, that it's completely ridiculous the reason my dad refuses to speak to me, and it's almost insane. But that happened 15 or 16 years ago, and I've had no communication with him since. He blocked my email. I don't know his phone number. I don't have his address. All I know is the P.O. box. He doesn't send me Christmas cards, birthday cards. There's no communication. He told my sister that he loves me, but he wants no relationship with me, which in turn means he has no relationship with my kids. My kids don't know who he is. Like, they'll see an old picture and be like, who's that? Which is really sad, because my kids are amazing. It's fine to be upset with me, but my kids, they don't deserve that. Whatever. So I can't talk to my dad to see how he's doing, and my stepmom is the same. So my sister, hi puppy bird. My sister gets the updates from my stepmom, and it's been about a week. I texted my sister an hour or so ago to see if she'd heard anything, but she's really good about keeping me in the loop, so I think she just hasn't heard. I think my stepmother is kind of stressed out, and they're very private people, and I don't think they like having the caregivers in the house, and they're snapping, and it's just, it sounds bad. Like, emotionally it sounds bad, but physically it sounds like my dad's doing better. Although the last time I heard, he was having an emergency nurse come in, something about the catheter. I don't really know the details on that. But since it's been a week and I haven't heard anything, I have to assume that he's okay. But I just wanted to update those of you that have been around that I think he's doing better. From the way it sounds, I think he's doing better, and I don't think I think he's dying. I mean, he's 92, so it's not like he's a spring chicken. I mean, we're all gonna eventually die, but I don't think he's, like, terminally ill. I just think bad things happened, and he's trying to recover from that, and he seems to be doing better. Okay. Whew, I'm wearing myself out with all this talking. I'm not used to doing all the talking. Yeah, I do most of the talking, but not all of it. Okay, so the wedding. You want to know about the wedding? I told you Saturday we cleaned. My husband, he was amazing. He did so much. He was a little grumpy doing it, but he did a ton. And he got up before I did, and he didn't even stitch. He got up probably 7 in the morning, 6. No, I was up at 7. So he probably got up at 6 and was cleaning and preparing and all that. And he didn't come to bed till 5 a.m. on Sunday. Granted, he fell asleep on the sofa about midnight, and so midnight to 5 he was asleep, but on the sofa. But still, he did so much to try to make this perfect for her. Sunday, got up, and he started decorating and all that while I helped Alyssa with what she needed, and then I helped him decorate, and then we all got dressed, and we all left, and the plan was that my husband and son would drop off Alyssa and me. English. Would drop us off at my mom's house so Alyssa could get dressed. I did try the magnetic eyelashes, but I waited way too long to try them because it was like 5 minutes before we had to leave. And while they did stick, I needed to trim them down. They were too wide. And so they were stabby, and it was kind of uncomfortable. So I ended up just taking them off before we left. So I'm going to try them again. I think they would work. They were just incredibly uncomfortable. My fault, I'm pretty sure. But they did stick. Where was I? we left. We went to my mom's so she could get ready. So my mom wore the mask. My mom wasn't going to the wedding because COVID, and I don't blame her. I wish she could have gone, but I totally understand. But mask thing, and I'm so glad we got ready. Well, she got ready at my mom's house because my mom just like whooshed those buttons right up. I thought we were gonna have to get a crochet hook. Like I really struggled to button because of the mesh. I didn't want to like rip it. My mom was a pro. She's just like wop 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 and got it all hooked in. I helped Alyssa with the veil. She looked so beautiful, and I'm glad my mom got to see her. And my mom pinned the corsage on me. I've never pinned the corsage. I always had the wrist ones. I don't know how you do it. I tried to do it later for Steve at the wedding, and it didn't go well. Not at all. So, Alyssa and I were taking an Uber from my mom's house to the venue. I'm sure Alyssa will tell you more about it, but let me just say, that was awkward. The Uber driver was... We both felt awkward, but we didn't know we were both feeling awkward, Alyssa and I. It wasn't until after the wedding when we talked about it. We both had the same creepyometer was going. She would tell you he was hitting on me. I would tell you that he was creepy hitting on me, but he didn't mean it. Like, there's no way he was hitting on me. I mean, one, he knows I'm married. I made that clear. Two, Alyssa is drop dead gorgeous behind me. He's not looking at me. He said awkward things, and it was weird and uncomfortable. I think what it was, honestly, was that he wanted a better tip, and he knew I was the one paying, but that was a creepy way to do it. I don't think there was any sincere hitting on, flirting with, going on. Let me give you an example. When we got in the car, where we were going, there's two ways to get there. It's not an island, but they call it an island, and so you can take a ferry across. You know, the car of the boat. The car drives onto the boat, in case you can't understand my ferry. Or you can just drive around, because it's not an island. And when Alyssa had gone previously to look at the venue, her GPS had told her to take the ferry, and they didn't know that was going to be a problem. It's way slower, you have to pay, it's a mess, don't do it. So as soon as we got in the car, Alyssa was like, hey, the GPS might tell you to take the ferry, don't do it. So he's like, yeah, no problem, and so he said it, so we didn't. So we're driving, we're almost there, and he said something about having ferry tickets or something, I don't know, he started talking about the ferry, and then he said that he gets seasick, and I said, oh, yeah, I get seasick, too. And he said, is that on your dating profile? I didn't really know what to say, so I kind of didn't say anything. I just sort of laughed. But he was still kind of looking at me like he was expecting a response. So I was like, yeah, I don't have a dating profile. But, I mean, if I did, I suppose I should put it on there. It's not like, hey, baby, you want to go mess around? It's not, you know what I'm saying? It's just creepy. He reached across me at one point to get something out of the door. Alyssa was like, Mom, I was ready to like kick him and run. And I was like, yeah, I was actually ready to open the door and roll out. Like it was just, you don't like whoosh across somebody it was weird. Anyway, we made it safely. And I got to see my husband see Alyssa for the first time. He didn't cry, and I was kind of hoping he would. Although he had sunglasses on, so he could have. But she looked just phenomenal. And I've gotten permission to put some pictures and stuff in. I don't think I can show you the entire thing, but at least I can show you something. And if I have not put pictures in already, when I do put them in, I think the bulk of them are probably going to be the professional ones. I think there's 5. The photographer was there, and she sent sample pictures, like appetizer pictures. So she's going to send all of the actual ones, I guess, after they get back from the honeymoon. So when Alyssa comes back, you'll see more stuff. But in the meantime, I have the 5 appetizer ones, and then I'll see if I have anything on my phone. I didn't take many pictures. We were so busy the whole day. I don't think there's a single picture of me with Alyssa, Mike with me, and Steve definitely. I don't have any pictures of us. We were just so busy. But whatever the photographer took, that's what we'll end up having. In fact, it's not a wedding. The key is to see Alyssa, and Jacob, her fiance, now husband. So she there was no music. This was a really small thing. It was 9 people, 10 people. added one last minute, which was kind of difficult, but whatever. We made it through. So she walked down the aisle. Jacob saw her. I don't think he cried, but he definitely thought she was beautiful. Jacob's dad officiated. He did an excellent job. The part that got me was when Jacob read his vows. Oh my gosh, I was sobbing. Alyssa was crying. I was crying. My husband was crying. I'm pretty sure everybody on the beach was crying. Oddly, we couldn't kick everybody out, so there were people just sitting in beach chairs watching. And there's the channel is behind, which you'll be able to see in a picture. But the channel's behind, and it's a super crazy busy channel. So boats are just constantly non-stop going. People are yelling congratulations and wow and thumbs up, and it was really pretty neat. It felt like we had the entire world at the wedding.
Oh.
1, 2, 3, go ahead. I really liked that, but his vows, I'm not going to say that like there was anything wrong with her vows. Her vows were amazing too, but I think we all expected them to be, so it was different hearing his. I didn't expect Jacob's to be so sincere and heartfelt and just so like personal. Like, I can't explain it. I cried. She cried. It was beautiful. Hers was very good too. It didn't make me cry because I knew how she felt about him. So, I don't know. It's not the same. It's not the same. But she did a really good job. I'm really glad they wrote their own vows. Steve did the rings. He didn't drop any of them. We didn't have to metal detect in the sand. There was a question about whether or not rings are magnetic. I'm assuming they're not, but there was a discussion about that at one point. So the wedding wasn't very long. We went to a friend's house because there were a few houses down there, the ones who helped us set up the ability to have the wedding there. They had this stunning house. I have never seen a more beautiful house in my life in person. I've seen some pretty amazing things online, but in person, that thing was mind-blowing, and such nice people. So we had a drink over there, and then we left. I didn't drink, but I hadn't eaten anything. I didn't want to be all, woo, naked on the beach, because, you know, I mean, that's never happened to me, but I suppose it could. Hi, dog. So, we left, we went home, his family came to our house, we had a wonderful dinner that my husband cooked, we laughed, it was a really good evening, and then Jacob and Alyssa left to head home to finish packing, and then to go off to San Diego for the honeymoon, and his family left shortly after, and we went to bed. I really miss Alyssa, but I mean, she doesn't live with me, so I'm used to her not being here, but you know, we work together, I talk to her a lot, so this is kind of sad. But she does text me pretty much every day. I don't think I've talked to her. I think this is her first day. I haven't, no, she sent me pictures of her breakfast this morning, so I did talk to her today. Yeah, so it'll be nice when she comes back, but I'm just happy for her. I'm happy. They got married. Okay, so this is a husband. He might be mine. His name is Mike. Say hi.
Hi.
He's drinking so he can get through this. What are you drinking? That's not one of the questions.
Oh.
I'm just curious what you're
It's
drinking.
a whiskey. You said you were going to interview me about whiskey and guns today.
Yes.
Okay.
What is floss? I told you it starts out easy. What's floss?
It's not a whiskey term.
No. Stitchy. Stitchy floss.
It's thread.
Okay. What's Flosstube?
Thread TV.
Okay. What's a needle minder?
It holds your needles.
Okay. The magnetic thing that I want you to build that you still haven't built? That holds all those things? Okay. What's a UFO?
Well, space aliens.
Stitchy UFO.
You just made that up. You've
I
never
did
said
not,
that.
I did not
You've
make
never
that
said
up.
that.
Because I don't have any.
Okay. It's got to be a round platter that you put thread on.
That's creative. It's an unfinished object. You're never going to go back to it. You've decided, like, this isn't for me.
Okay.
Ooh. What's a whip? I can spell it if you need, because Steve was grumpy after. I did ask my son these.
Work in project. In progress.
Yeah, that's right. These are all whips. What's an FFO?
Spell that.
FFO.
You've never said that.
I don't have any of those either. No, I do have some. I just don't have many.
Final finish object.
Fully finished objects.
Ooh.
So yeah, pretty much. An FO is when it's finished, but you haven't like framed it or done anything. And an FFO is when you've fully done it and it's someplace.
Okay.
What's a SAL? Would you like me to spell that?
You've never said that before.
I've never.
Is this your hobby or no?
It's
you don't
my
have
hobby.
any of these words done.
I have FFOs. Oh, the wedding thing is hanging downstairs. The
Okay, how do you spell this Sal?
SAL. Not a salad. Just delicious. Sometimes. With the right dressing.
S-A-L. That didn't help.
It's not salty alligator lice. I know that was what you
I
were
give
gonna
up.
guess. It's a stitch along. So when a bunch of people stitch on the same project, not necessarily like in the same room, but like, hey, I'm gonna start that. This actually was a stitch along. Like the bunch of us did that. Christmas sentiments.
Sounds like a party.
I think we all miss it. What's frogging?
You've never said that.
I know what it is.
Skipping over stitches you're supposed to do.
No, but you're not as far off as I would have thought. Frogging is when you have to rip out stitches. Like, rip it, rip it, rip it. Yeah, it sounds like a frog.
Well, you do that a lot, but you've
yes.
never said it.
Yeah. Yeah, I do that a lot.
Okay.
What's Ada?
It is fabric.
Yes, but what kind of fabric? Why is it different than, like, that fabric?
You stitch on it.
Okay. Spit everywhere. Why is it different than other things I stitch on? How can you tell it's Ada? What? Tell me about Ada.
Does it have squares on it?
It does.
Okay, there you go.
But all stitchy fabric has squares.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, do you mean like that?
Yeah.
Oh, no. He's looking at keto, my easy grid.
It has holes in it where the other nice fabric doesn't.
This is Ada. See what it looks like? This is not Ada. It's the stuff we used to stitch on in the 80s, although some people still do. I don't hate
exactly
Ada.
what I was telling you.
It's okay.
I won.
No, okay. It's very even and
That's what I'm
big,
saying.
and you would
Yes.
normally not go over very far with it. You have to do, yeah, okay.
So I got
I'm not
that
good at defining it. I know what it means. I know what it is.
I got that one.
Okay. What's a skein?
A bundle of thread.
Good job. What's a haul?
New crap you bought.
Do you want to talk about who buys more new crap?
I didn't get anything today.
Yes, you did.
Mm-mm.
You got your Freon.
Good
Apparently,
stuff.
your $80 Freon. What's even weave?
You've never said that before.
Well, maybe I have and you didn't listen.
another type of fabric
Yes.
with the squares on it.
In this case, you're right. It does have squares because that's Lugana, but they don't all have squares. Even weave is when it's very evenly woven, so all the holes and everything are all perfectly lined up. Like this is linen, and sometimes there are there's slubs and all sorts of wonkiness. But even is very even.
Fascinating.
Yeah. It's as fascinating as your hobbies, right? What are orts? O-R-T. What?
You've never said that.
I have?
No.
Okay.
It's a style of stitching.
No. It's the old ratty threads, the ones where you clip off the end. I have a jar of them at the cabin. I have a bag of them, that little Christmassy looking bag. Those are my orts. What's railroading?
Doing another line next to another line.
Didn't I tell you, Steve? Railroading. When you have 2 strands on your needle and you come up, before you go down in the hole, you go between the 2 strands and then down. It's a way to make your stitches lay flatter. I don't do it.
Okay.
I don't intentionally do it. Sometimes I do it by accident. I don't intentionally do it because I'm not good at it. It's too much work. I'm lazy. I'm a lazy stitcher. What's a biscuit?
You've never said that.
You're right, I have not.
Something you eat with tea.
Ooh, that sounds good. Like a biscuit and a crumpet and... Yeah. No, it's an 8-sided pincushion.
You don't have that.
No, I don't. What's Kreinik?
So next time, do I get to ask you like card stuff or what?
You can, but I know a lot more about colors than apparently you do about stitching.
A what?
Kreinik.
Sounds like a tool. It untangles stuff.
I wish. I would love one of those. Could you invent that? No? Okay. Kreinik is the metallic floss.
Okay.
What's 2/1?
That's the
No cheating. My son's in it and he's trying to help him.
That is a style of a stitching pattern.
No. 2/1 is 2 strands of floss over 1 hole.
Okay.
Keto is 2/1.
Doesn't the pattern tell you which one to use?
It does.
Interesting.
But I don't think that's what you said.
That's what I said.
I don't.
It's a style of stitching that the pattern tells you.
Okay.
So I got that one right.
For the record, no one's keeping score.
Okay.
So, what's a Q snout?
That's easy. It's overpriced PVC pipe.
Okay. What's a grime guard?
That is something designed for Alyssa because she has dirty hands.
Okay.
And so it keeps her dirty, filthy hands off of the fabric.
You're right.
Yeah.
So, do you see one? Like, do you...
Well, no, because Alyssa's not here today, so... Oh, I can't see that far.
Okay. Just want to make sure you knew what you were talking about.
So Alyssa must have touched that before.
What's a HAED?
I
can spell that if you need.
It is a artist of a design.
Pretty much.
Ooh.
Heaven and Earth Designs.
Yep.
So Keto
See?
is a HAED. And yeah, I was waiting for you to say you've never said that. I was being like, I have said that a
I got
lot.
another point.
This is the last one, but I may throw in a bonus question. What is perking?
That is so easy.
Okay.
And I'm not even going to give you the right term.
Okay.
Okay? That is when you're stitching and then you're too lazy to put up more stitchy stuff. So you just put it someplace and then you lace up more stitchy stuff.
You might be right, but I'm confused about what you said.
You're stitching
Okay.
and then you gave up. So you put it over there and then you get another one and you start stitchies.
Okay. I'm going to go with yes and no on this.
I think I got it.
It's not because I'm lazy. It's because I don't need that color at the moment. So I perk it. I perk the thread in the next place I'm going to use it. Not just willy-nilly over there, over there.
Okay. That's not what I've seen, but...
That was all the questions. But I'm just curious. Do you know what a snag nabbit is?
Yes.
What's a snag nabbit?
It's when something's ugly, you poke at it with it.
Yeah, I mean, you're right.
Yeah. Got another point.
The snag nabbit is the... It's not so much that it's ugly, it's just something sticking out that's not supposed to be sticking out. Snag nabbit. Alright. You have other questions for me?
No. Not today.
Okay.
Be prepared next
Okay.
week.
Okay. Because I've built a card.
Okay, so I can go now?
You can go now.
Okay.
Thank you. Do I get a kiss?
No.
Nah. 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 Do we all get to laugh at you trying to get off the floor?
Mwah!
Thank you. Thank you for watching. If this went well, I will be back next week. If it didn't, Alyssa and I will be back the following week. Bye!